In the last week, we have had an abundance of important bankruptcy decisions handed down by the circuit courts of appeal. The most significant, both in terms of dollar amount and legal principles, came from the Second Circuit in New York City. Succinctly stated, the Second Circuit resurrected $3.75 billion in fraudulent transfer lawsuits that had been brought by the trustee liquidating the Bernard Madoff Ponzi scheme under the Securities Investor Protection Act. The district court had essentially killed off those lawsuits by inventing brand new defenses, shall we say, for the defendants in these fraudulent transfer suits. The district court had held, contrary to authority commentators and everything else, that to establish a lack of good faith as a defense under fraudulent transfer law, the Madoff trustee had to show not the usual standard of inquiry notice, but the far higher standard of willful blindness. Also, the district judge had said that the Madoff trustee had to affirmatively, yes, affirmatively plead the willful blindness standard in the complaint. Well, the Second Circuit reversed on both grounds. Number one, the Second Circuit said, nope, good faith is always an affirmative defense, even under SIPA cases, and the defense is something that the defendants raise in their answer. The trustee is not required to plead lack of good faith in the complaint. Further, and I think more significantly, the Second Circuit said that the ordinary fraudulent transfer standard of inquiry notice is all that you have to prove, even in SIPA cases. Well, as I said, this is a biggie because upwards of $4 billion of lawsuits have been resurrected, and for the most part, they are against financial institutions and hedge funds and the like, which ought to be able to respond in judgment if the trustee succeeds ultimately. In retrospect, this is an incredibly important decision because it means that the Madoff trustee stands a decent chance, if not a good chance, of recovering 100% of the cash losses that customers suffered in the Madoff Ponzi scheme. How much is that? Well, the total cash losses are almost $20 billion. Yes, you heard me correctly. The Madoff trustee may very well end up collecting almost $20 billion. That is truly extraordinary given the fact not only that it's $20 million, but that when the Madoff liquidation began, most folks, me included, would have figured that a 5 to 10% recovery would have been a good day's work. I have to thank not only the Madoff trustee, but also the Securities Investor Protection Corporation, which supported the Madoff trustee and agreed with his decisions to proceed with litigation despite these unfavorable decisions below. And of course also, SIPC supplies the funds that the Madoff trustee used to prosecute these appeals and everything else in the Madoff case. I am Bill Rochelle, the editor-at-large for American Bankruptcy Institute. I will return same time next week with something important in the world of bankruptcy. Until then, be well, stay safe, good day.